Welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Cunt. I mean blunt. It's your favorite people, Jaime
and Emily, and today we have on Brad Stoll and Natan Badalov. Welcome, boys.
Thank you for having us.
Brad's a second-time listener, many-time viewer.
Yeah.
Natan's never been here before.
Natan's giving Brad sloppy seconds right now.
Dude,
nice place.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like the studio?
Everything. The studio.
all the fake plants. It's great. It's nice.
Why are you talking shit?
What? What do you mean? Is it? Are they real?
No.
Okay, well then it's not talking shit. It's
Okay,
talking honestly.
My
You
tits
can't
are
say
real,
it's
so
shit
shut up.
if it's real.
You can say
Sorry,
shit.
I'm just being fucking real.
Okay, Mr.
dude.
Clean, take it down a notch.
All right, that's hacky. Well, we'll allow it.
That one.
Well, how would you roast us?
He's so easy.
Don't even.
Wait,
Don't
can you
even.
roast us?
Roast you?
Mm-hmm.
He said don't even, then he's like,
But it's like then I'm on the spot. Like I'm not like a pro
all right, we
roaster.
give you permission to roast.
Yeah.
You look
You
like-
too.
No,
You too.
I don't know you guys that well.
Okay, I'll go.
Let's get to know each other.
Yeah.
How did your parents
Towards
fuck
the
you
end.
up?
How'd they fuck me up? They made me. No, I'm just kidding. That's a terrible
You know,
thing.
that's who you remind me of.
What?
He reminds me of a Don from Love on the Spectrum.
A Don?
Well, no,
You just straight
A-D-O-N?
up called him autistic to his
no,
face.
it's more so though it's his
Now you're roasting me.
You look like
your
him.
voice
Oh, my-
sounds the exact same.
It really
Okay.
does.
You hear that?
I wonder-
You,
you
Don?
you hear that? Your cadence
Don.
is autistic.
Can you show me?
yeah, pull up a
That's so funny.
If
that-
this guy's fucking like, then
No, we did think he was hot. We were like, he's hot, and he was.
You hear that?
And
You're hot for an
autistic.
autistic guy.
Are you autistic?
no.
Yeah,
I'm saying
that's
for
a
an
yeah.
I think we are.
I don't know how.
But we
to.
love. We love everyone on the spectrum.
So your love,
Thank you.
you would say your love is on the spectrum.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your
When
love
I
carries
watch-
all people.
When I watched Love on the Spectrum, I had a self-realization. I was like, oh,
Baby, I'm full.
this
This
is
guy-
this
this guy
is
looks-
how I sound.
Do you
Guy
kind of
looks
see
like
it?
every Middle Eastern guy.
Are you Middle
listen to his
Eastern?
voice.
Oh, okay. I gotta listen to
You
that.
had to play a video.
Does he do stupid shit on the show?
No, he's like.
This is like so insulting too, because it's like I mean, like the thing is like she said you sound like him, but you just see the picture and be like, your brain just goes, I don't look like that.
No,
he's
it's
cute.
his voice. It's his voice.
the voice.
It was just the way you had that inflection. I was
Oh,
like,
dude,
that's
she
who
was
you
the
remind me
worst
of.
on the show. I couldn't stand her.
Wait, Danny,
Oh, she's so funny.
Dude, she's so annoying.
why didn't you like her?
I think
Her
she's,
expectations were so high.
No, she just had standards,
I
Brad.
thought it was great.
Was it?
Well, her standards are different than your standards.
For sure.
She was like, "Do you what is it? What is she?
Do you
in?
have an animation studio? If not, f*** off.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
she was just like, if you don't have a fucking castle, then get out. And I'm like, what do you think this
I
is?
need to get on her level because my standards are have a license.
And that's a new standard.
That's a very new standard.
That's a very new standard.
Hey, I fucked a dude without a license. It's fine. We won't talk about it.
They give the best
Well, did they
dick.
at least have like a real ID or something like that?
No.
They didn't have a fucking passport?
Listen, what he did have was a London accent, and I.
Hey girl, you trying to hit this?
You know exactly what I need.
Past everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like the stereotype.
We talked about. I feel like we talked about accents last time, about like how accent. Like,
We love accents.
What's a hot accent?
Every accent that's not American.
I don't know if I'd agree.
Well,
with
not
that.
Swedish.
That's a weird one.
Why?
I don't know. White people accents like aren't
Do you
hot.
want to
White
suck my
people
dick?
Ooh.
Yeah.
But
You
French
suck
isn't
it.
French a white person?
What is
Okay.
that? First of all, what
That's a
was
cute
that?
accent.
Was that Slavic? That wasn't fucking Swedish.
What's
Russian? What about Russian?
No.
I think that's kind of hot.
Depending on the woman for sure. There's some certain ones where they either sound like a
Motherfucker.
It's
evil
too
villain
heavy.
in like a 007 movie, or they sound like a very aggressive butch nanny.
And which one do you like better?
Obviously, the butch nanny.
I have a Russian esthetician who does my facials,
She's like, don't move.
and she was just like, I was like, look at these wrinkles, and I smile, and she goes, in her Russian accent, she was like, that's bad. She was
Yeah.
like, that's not good. You're too young for that. And I
Natan,
was
can you
like,
do it?
well,
Natan is from Uzbekistan.
That's bad.
Where are you from?
Uzbekistan.
Wait, my family's from Czechoslovakia. Isn't that kind of close?
A little bit, yeah. It's closer
Geography.
than America.
I'm not
Is your
good at
family
geography.
from
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
You mean like your
Like
your-
ancestors.
Okay, well he's like literally from there.
Oh.
Wait, don't say like I just got off the boat. No, that's,
Hey, dude, I won't.
no, what?
Can we see your papers?
Can you speak some Yugoslavian to us?
Russian. Yugoslavian.
I don't know.
Russian.
Well, your family's from the Czech Republic, right?
Can you speak some Russian to us?
Yeah. What do you want me to say?
Whatever,
Tell me how
whatever
sexy
comes
I
to
am.
mind.
Вы очень красивы.
What does that
not
mean?
hot at all.
What?
Can't say that.
What does that mean?
What you just said.
Oh.
You guys look very beautiful.
Oh,
There we
Say
go.
it again.
She's like, I don't care what language is it.
Yeah,
Say it again.
no, get on your knees.
Yeah. So you said you're Russian esthetician?
My Russian esthetician. Yeah, my dad's side though is Russian. So my sister and my brother
That's the
are
Jew
part
party,
Russian.
right?
Yeah,
Makes sense.
they're Russian Jews and Polish.
I'm Russian Romanian.
Nobody asked.
I'm just telling you.
Okay, thanks.
He wants to feel special, Emily. Let him have his moment.
Sorry, my family's from Romania. My grandfather was from Romania, so yeah.
I'm trying
We
to.
just had Liz Lupo on from Romania.
Oh,
and
she's so hot.
Romanian, and then she just started saying sexy sex
Romanian
stuff
is
in
actually
Romania,
a very
in
sexy
Romanian.
language.
It is.
Yeah.
Know anything? Can you
I don't
say
know
it?
anything. My mom knew it as a kid, and I think she stopped.
He's like, it's so sexy. My mom knows it.
Yeah, no, I'm mad. Like I don't know it because like my grandpa would like teach me words and stuff. Like I remember when I was younger, like there was a Romanian girl like in our neighborhood that like we were all friends with, and I remember I called my grandpa on the phone. I'm like, can you tell me like what to say?
Oh.
And he played it for her, like to say it. It's like saying like my grandson thinks you're blah 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 blah, and then she started laughing. And I was like, oh, what is he saying? And she goes, it's nothing. And I'm like, he was definitely like trying to spit game for me in Romania.
That's
Nice.
cute.
Romanian.
That's so cute.
Wait, I saw a series you started online, like reading your grandfather's journal.
Yeah. So that's actually something that I almost forgot about it. So I knew about it as a kid as like my grandfather wrote a book, and then as I got older, it was known as the book that I will never be able to read. And then when my grandfather passed away, I saw the book for the first time. So I remember my grandfather dies, and it's like a very weird funeral because like my sister's on her honeymoon. We couldn't tell her that he died. He was old, by the way. It wasn't like, oh, he all of a sudden suspected, like he was on his way out. Like it was sad. But like my grandmother was very like what's the word I'm looking for? Very resentful about him for years because I definitely think my grandfather was like sleeping around like as the years went on. I don't think it just ended with this book. And he wrote this book as like his like memoir, but it's literally just about him going to other countries and fucking women. Like it literally is like this much history and this much fucking.
That's iconic.
So the
I
book,
would hate
so
him if
here's
I
the
was your
thing.
grandma.
So as a kid, and as I've said in like the videos, like I was told my grandfather was a Holocaust survivor since I was a kid, and that's like something you hold really near and dear to your chest because you're like, well, I don't find myself to be a victim, but that is like a cool thing to hold to myself to know that like I'll never forget that my grandfather escaped going to a camp.
Your
And that's what I was
family's
told.
survivors.
The thing I was told as a kid is that my grandfather and his brother both saw people getting lined up on trains, and they're like, fuck this doesn't seem right, let's go, and they just jumped over a fence and just started running, and then eventually swindled their way into other countries, and then eventually making it to America. What actually happened was in 1945, my grandfather I think was only 16. Apparently we were very close with the government in Romania. And I mean, like we as in like my grandfather's like family was very close with the government. Like my grandfather's dad went to prison, but for like 2 months for a crime that should have been like a couple years. Like that's how in the know they were.
They got money.
And at 16, my grandfather goes, "I want to go to Israel." I guess my great grandfather was like, "Okay," and then just gave him like $200, and then he went to Israel. The war was over. The Holocaust was over. There was no Holocaust with my grandfather was just like dantling around fucking Romania. Yeah, there was anti-Semitism and
Wait,
shit.
so they didn't actually escape?
No, there was no escaping. Zero
survive
escaping.
the Holocaust.
And then the joke, the first joke I wrote
With
was like
stolen valor.
Very much stolen valor. The only joke I wrote, and my mom was so pissed when I posted this, was my grandfather. All my life I've been told my grandfather was a Holocaust survivor. I'm 60 pages into this book that he wrote, and the only thing that he escaped was a three-way with 2 Dutch chicks because one of them had VD.
Wait, your grandfather wrote about a girl having BV?
VD, like chlamydia, whatever. He literally was about to have a three with 2 girls that lived down the street from his house when he was like 16, and then when he was about to do it, the other girl goes, "She has chlamydia," and then he fucking left.
Good for
great,
him.
And that was like
What
the
a
joke is like
cockblock.
that was his survivor story, is that he almost got chlamydia once. But if you read the book, you're like, how did you not get fucking chlamydia? Because I know you didn't wear a condom in any of these chapters.
He's like,
and
you
it's
skipped
like
the part.
the weirdest type of sex talk. He's like, her breast was so soft. I'm like, this is disgusting.
Oh,
dude.
it's like vivid.
Yes, but it's not even
It's
like,
like 50
sexy.
Shades of
Here's the thing: it's
Grandpa.
like take myself out of my like that he's my grandfather. I'm reading that, I go, this isn't even hot. This is weird. It's like it's almost just like it's almost like if AI wrote a sex novel.
She was like her supple
Like it's such
loins.
broken English. Like it's also
Ew.
my grandfather writing, and he's like English is a second language, and like he speaks like multiple languages. But like as I got older, his accent was still so thick, and there were still things he didn't know. And when you read the book, you're like, oh, this is written by a guy who could barely speak English. But also cool that he wrote a book, sure. But when you realize most of it is a smut book. And you only find out about it after he dies, and I'm like, oh, my grandfather was a huge piece of shit. Like,
Can I read the book?
I mean, there's only like 2 copies, and we own them. Like,
All right,
it
just
was on Amazon
send
for
me a
like it was on
chapter.
Amazon for like a month. Nobody bought it, and then we just took it down.
Wait, put it back up.
Well, here's the thing. I wanted to like, and I still have it. Like, I'm in the process of trying to figure out how I can pivot it into like either a TV like script or a one-man show or something like that.
It's just you fucking across Europe.
No, I want to compare it to like how like I felt like I was lied to most of my life. Like the idea of like being told this story and then getting to like an age like I'm 32 and I'm finding out that my grandfather was none of the things I was told, and he was just going out and being a fuck boy around Europe until he met my grandmother. By the way, my grandma has like 3 pages, and it's like, and then I met her, and then I met Sandy, and blah blah blah, and then we had 2 beautiful girls, and then they had kids, blah blah blah, and then the story abruptly ends.
That's it? He doesn't even write about the sex with your grandma?
Nope.
Damn.
Not that I want to hear it.
I mean, I would.
Did your whole family?
It was out of respect. No, it was not out of respect. My grandfather probably was just got through his marriage. I mean, like, I don't know.
Damn.
But I remember, like, at the funeral, my grandmother, like, she didn't speak at the funeral, as far as I remember. But we were in the car back to my mom's apartment for, like, the Shiva. And my grandma's just sitting there crying. She just goes, he's such a fucking schmuck, like under her breath.
I
And I
love
was
the
like,
word
oh,
schmuck.
she purposely didn't invite people to this funeral because she didn't want him to have an audience. My grandpa was a schmoozer, like good people person, a flirt, like could have been in sales. He wanted to be a movie star. Like that was like his dream. And that's like how me and him like really connected.
I see where
'Cause he
you get
wanted-
it from.
Yeah, right. Of course. So just go around Europe fucking everybody.
I can see that for you.
Well, that's nice. I don't. So it's just like it's really interesting to like see the contrast now. But the book is called War, Tragedy, and Sex. What a fucking
What a title.
What a title. Tells you exactly what it is.
War,
it was a
Tragedy?
tragedy to read. I'll tell you that.
Did your grandma read this?
I don't believe she did. I think once it was published, she was furious.
The
like,
war
she
was
knew
just
what it was
a-
about. And my mom, you ready for this? My mom did some of the editing. My
Your
mom's
mom did some of the editing?
My mom goes, I didn't edit any of the pages about the sex. And I'm like, what'd you edit? 20 pages?
Yeah.
There's like maybe 25 to 50 pages of no sex. And then the rest of it is just sex.
That sounds like my type of book.
I mean,
I know,
it's
you do
not
read
hot,
smuts.
though. It's not hot. It's not hot at all.
No, but it's
It
like a
would've been
romance
If
novel.
your mom edited it properly. You know?
That's so funny. Shiva. All the Jew words
all the
coming
Jew
out.
words are coming out. Sorry.
There was
Oh,
a-
sorry for all your non-Jew
There was-
listeners.
no.
Shiva is where you just eat a lot of very salty foods and talk about the person you love.
Yeah, it's like you sit. It's called sitting Shiva, right? So there was a guy I matched with on Hinge, and his name was Shiva. And I was
Oh
like, if
my
a
God.
Jewish girl sits on your face, is it called sitting Shiva?
How many times do you think he gets that line, though?
And probably a lot. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe.
I think that's a good pickup line for a Jewish girl to say.
Right? And
Or
then
if she
he
wa-
loved
or
it.
if you weren't Jewish,
he was
that would
like,
even-
you can sit Shiva any day.
Wow. Did you fuck that guy?
No.
Oh, see,
No, I didn't even.
that's
I didn't
not
even
fun
respond. He
anymore.
wasn't cute. I just matched with him to send that message
Wow, that sucks.
because it was funny.
That sucks.
And then I posted it on social media.
For him or her.
Wow, no, it sucks for him. Clearly,
That is
Yeah.
Well, we
This is
feel
the
bad
fount-
for
this
we
is
feel
the
bad for
fountain
Jamie
of
that she
youth.
got a little cute little bit out of it for her fucking Instagram story.
Shut up. You get bits all the time.
That is a terrible name for your child.
Shiva?
100%.
Yeah.
As a Jew,
'Cause
I
you're
don't know.
just-
If, I don't know if he was Jewish.
I don't think he was Jewish.
Oh.
I feel like that
But he
actually
did look like Middle Eastern in like some capacity.
sure.
I don't know. So I was assuming.
Very,
maybe
very
Jewish?
Florida thing to do.
Who just said short?
I said sure.
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 Oh, God, he sounded like Amber. Oh, that freaked me out.
Who?
When
You
we
came up with the nickname.
Oh.
Some guy.
Guy named Amber.
Sure.
We just come
Yeah,
up with
I don't like
nicknames and then we
that.
forget the
I'm gonna
nicknames.
keep doing it now.
I don't like
you
that.
tell me that you don't like it. I'm gonna keep.
Oh.
All right, I want to
doing it.
learn about you,
Yeah.
sir.
Tell us
Sir.
about your wartime tragedy.
Sir.
I don't know.
Sir.
That's
Give up-
respectful, right?
I guess.
Do you not
I
like
didn't
being
know I was
called
that- I
sir?
didn't know I
Would
was
you
that
prefer
old.
ma'am?
Yeah, that's good. That's better.
Okay.
Trans.
So you're a comedian
yeah,
in New York.
Yeah, well, that's how I met Brad.
Let's talk shit about Brad.
Yeah.
He's not here.
So I
Bald
heard this
fuck.
guy sucks.
Bald fucking guy.
I feel like that roast went really well for you a couple months ago. If that's what you're using,
What roast?
the one that you guys did.
Mr. Clean.
I was referencing how that roast was not good.
I still want.
See, that's how bad that was. Like, I couldn't even roast you for roasting how bad you roast.
When did we roast?
We roasted
You guys
each other
roasted,
for the
a year
roast
ago or
battle.
whatever.
You did?
Oh, you didn't think we did good for that?
And I was.
You roasted each other?
He's like, the joke isn't funny if I have to explain
Which-
it. We weren't like, we were invited to a roast battle at the
Here?
Improv. Yeah.
Okay.
But we thought we were on. We came up with roast for each other, which was hard. It's hard to like roast your friends and
Yeah.
shit.
Not if you're a sociopath.
Yeah, well, certain
Yeah,
friends.
that's
I'm like,
hard.
we're so close that it's like you don't want to like really upset each other.
Yeah.
We've seen friendships end because of roast.
I've seen relationships end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's bad.
Relationships?
Like
Yeah,
people,
because it's you two tried to roast each other?
no. They
you both tried.
Yeah.
But you both know each other very well, right?
Yeah.
But you
I've
gave
met her
each
before.
other. You gave each other. Usually that they give each other like facts about each other.
They both separately called me to run their jokes about each other. And I don't know if they know that until right now. But yeah, they both called me.
I called.
That's probably fair.
And it was and there was none that where I was like, oh, this is like, unless like they're both very extremely sensitive people.
Yeah.
I'd be like, maybe not. But there was like maybe one I probably told you guys not to do.
I think we did it anyways.
Probably, but like I don't think it was like bad. I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, if you're not gonna do anyone, I'd say that one. But it wasn't like
Yeah, we ended up like just being guests, like guest hosts /
Okay.
judges. But that we were like, oh, we thought so. We roasted each other. We had the best roast out of everybody, like the most
and you weren't even on
laughs.
the card.
And we weren't even on the card, and so like we didn't get to go to the next rounds. I was like, oh damn. So we like, and they didn't give us a winner either or
Why?
anything. So I was like, what? Why did we just roast each other and be mean? Not if one of us can't even win.
And what was the point? Because my car broke down that day, and I like literally, it was a shit show getting to
I
that
remember
roast
that.
because my car literally stopped like in the middle of the street. So I tried to back into like our garage. My car got stuck halfway through into the garage. So I was blocking traffic.
We had to move her car.
We had to push my car out of the garage, park it the wrong side on the street. Then Jamie had to like reverse onto the street, park it right. I was an hour and a half late to the roast. I was like, there was no point to me even going.
Yeah.
But you guys still had the best.
Yeah.
roast.
It was
That's so
fun.
pretty iconic to like go through all that and be like, and I still kicked ass on stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the show must go on.
No, absolutely.
It was our first roast
I
ever.
saw a person
Oh, yeah?
get the news that their grandmother died and then murdered on stage after, like immediately.
Those are the
after.
best
Yeah.
sets.
Because then they don't care.
Have you ever
Yeah.
had any like intense thing happen before you do comedy and then had a good set?
Yeah, like if I argue with anyone before,
Yeah.
Do you just
Do you have a
try-
girlfriend?
what?
You said you argue with Mai and then you didn't finish it.
Anybody. I was about to say
Anyone?
roommate, but argue with anybody.
Do you try to
before-
start fights with people before
No, that's
shows
psychotic.
to get?
That's psychotic.
That's
I
like
need
that,
the-
that's like
fuel.
that's almost
No.
like matching with someone for a bit and then
Oh,
Shut
No,
up.
I would never. I would.
I
He's just getting butthurt because somebody's probably matched with him for a bit. Are you
you know I
triggered?
haven't had anyone say anything like that'd be like, oh, this is clearly a bit. Like you can tell obviously if someone like said something to like
I just have
don't-
guys be like, you look like trouble. I'm like,
Oh,
shut
I
up.
hate that. I
That means
hate
you think
that.
I'm gonna fuck you or something.
That's literally what it means.
You look
That's
like
the most
trouble.
fuckboy like starting message.
Right?
You look like trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna cause
What do
trouble
do they
for
put
you
on their
when
fuck-
I put sugar
They
in
put
your
on their
gas
fucking
tank.
glasses like this and like, you look like trouble.
That'll get her.
That'll get her. Fucking punch a locker.
That's kind of hot. I would have liked a guy who punched a locker,
Wow.
but I had problems.
I still would like a guy who punched a locker, but
No, I hate
have
guys who
problems.
punch things. If you punch holes in
First
things,
of all, why are you hooking up with anyone who has a locker?
I said when I was in high school, I would have thought that was hot.
Oh,
You ever been to Planet
Reel it back.
Fitness?
missed that one. This Obon's real strong.
I completely
I am
forgot
also
you were
starving
drinking
and I'm
that.
drinking whiskey, so it's gonna get real.
I
interesting.
offered to make you guys steak, even though I'd never cooked steak before. I can't believe you didn't believe in me.
I mean, the way you're like,
Didn't
has
you
anyone
eat
ever
the
cooked steak before?
those strip
Is probably the
steaks?
first flag to go. Maybe don't have steak from the girl who's never cooked steak.
But was it bad?
That was fine.
I need a little bit better
Was it?
than
Did
that.
you cook it
It was
medium rare?
honest.
I throw the glass at the wall. It's fucking raw.
They
No.
both go into the bathroom, start puking. They have food poisoning.
But honestly, we were talking about this before. Like, if anything's gonna give you food poisoning, like, I would never eat chicken from someone who's never cooked. That one would scare the
Yeah,
shit out
no,
of me.
fuck that.
But steak is like something like, again, like you can eat it raw, you can eat it cooked.
I just
You're
don't.
less likely.
I love eating it raw.
You're less likely to get it. Okay,
Raw
you're less
steak?
likely to get it food poisoning if it's meat.
You know what I didn't know? Food poisoning shows up like days later. Like it's not like an instantaneous thing most of the time. It can happen like 24 to 72 hours later.
I will say that it is definitely something I never wished upon my worst enemy.
I've never
got
had
food
it.
poisoning the day of Thanksgiving.
That was so bad.
I got it the day before my birthday once.
That's rough. We had a whole plan. We usually host every holiday, and the night before, I ate some fried chicken and Brussels sprouts.
From where?
It was such good fried chicken. Le Chic or Le Chic in Wynwood.
Le Chic.
I've gone back and ate it after. I didn't give a fuck.
Wow.
It was good fried chicken.
One of my food poisoning stories, the exact one I told you about. I will never eat at one of those create your own pizza places, like a Blaze Pizza, like the one where you can like Chipotle a pizza.
Oh, I've never seen those.
They don't have them in Miami?
No.
Where like you
No.
basically like, what do you want on it?
There's
Blah,
like
blah.
4 pizza spots.
That's not true.
Most of them
there's
suck.
there's pizza in Miami.
Not good
You guys get a
ones.
lot of New York. First of all, you actually have a lot
We
of
have
New York
Joe's.
We have Joe's.
And that's
Yeah.
it.
Don't even.
You like Joe's?
No.
No.
Anyone from New York doesn't like Joe's.
Oh, I love
That's
Joe's.
not true. There's a lot of diehard Joe's people in New York. It's just not. It's not bad. It's just mediocre. And I'm not saying it's. I'm like that's the
the
only video right
pizza
now that's circulating right now
connoisseur.
for me.
He is a pizza connoisseur.
It's like literally there are thousands of people telling me to go back to LA and that they're going to beat me up if they see me over pizza. Pizza.
I'm sorry I said those things.
Oh no, it's just a funny thing to be like get mad about. Joe's. I don't really care, but it's like
Go back to your own
You
country.
just yelled.
yeah. But that's just me. I'm a fiery man. I have a lot of passion for pizza.
You are a fiery man. What's your zodiac sign?
Oh Jesus Christ! Here we
Just
go.
go along with it.
I like him.
I like him
Say
too.
I like
Just go
him.
along with it.
Thanks. Oh yes, and Aquarius.
Oh, me too.
What about you?
Capricorn.
What the fuck that means?
We both looked at each
What
other
are you?
like,
Capricorn.
you do give Cap vibes.
What does that mean? What does that?
Okay.
Just
Go along with it.
I just made
no,
that.
shut up.
I
I want to know what
Just-
that means.
Just go along. Yes.
No,
I
I want to
agree.
hear their
I
fucking.
you
agree.
lying? You're
What
not a Cap?
newspaper
No, I am.
ad did you read about it? Like, what did it say in the newspaper today?
Listen, I will shove this mic so far up your butthole.
He's already ready. He's into it.
That's
over
the
here. Let's
thumbnail.
I'm only
Do you
one.
like things
I'm
in your
only
butt?
one whiskey
What?
in, babe.
Do you like things in your butt?
No.
Never had
I
a
like
never
it.
had a thing up
Lame.
my butt.
Speak
Lame.
for yourself.
Shaming
Okay,
me.
well, we don't have the
Damn,
same
that's fucked
lifestyle.
up.
This is a shameful house.
I've never had
So
a
you get- you-
colonoscopy.
What?
What?
You've never had a?
Colonoscopy. I mean, I shouldn't have a colonoscopy this early in life, but sorry, you were saying I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, you're talking about what? Butt stuff?
Butt stuff.
No, what does that
Nah.
mean about Natan though? What is
I
Capricorn?
literally just made that up. I haven't got to know him yet. I need to hear him talk.
Oh, so you did the whole thing with horoscope people do. They're just
Our
like,
guest is speaking.
Yeah.
My apologies.
What was your
Pipe
question?
down.
I don't know. I asked if you liked butt stuff.
No. You guys go out with guys that.
Oh, I eat ass for days.
I love
Really?
eating ass.
So
Oh,
do you-
yeah.
What happens if they
the last
say
guy I
no?
hooked up with, I was on my knees and I was eating his butt while I was jerking him off, and he loved that.
What if they say, "Get the
I-
fuck off me"?
Then I get the fuck off him.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
never let
So you
anyone.
And then I
Consent
leave.
is key.
And then you
And I
leave.
never call him again. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
But I have told men that if they don't eat ass, it's a deal breaker, and I will not date them.
So you're
No, but
someone
if
who
they
loves
don't,
you
but
love
no.
having your ass eaten.
I love doing both.
Yeah.
But I'm okay if you don't like it, but you have to be willing to do it to me.
What's the preparation like for that?
You shower, you stick finger up there, make sure everything's good.
I don't think that's enough.
That does
No,
not
I-
sound.
I don't
I
think
am
that's
so on
enough.
that
I
board
don't-
of that. Does
I
not
don't-
feel like
I
enough.
don't eat like the day of.
Okay, that's
Okay,
That
so
So
means
there's
you're
like not a
preparing
lot
it.
in there.
Sure.
And I
Yeah, you
shower
empty it out.
vigorously.
You
Sure,
what?
sure.
What do you
I
do?
shower very vigorously.
Okay.
Baby
I've had
wipes.
guys eat my ass
how
after
much do you
the
shower?
gym.
Okay, so that's
vigorously.
Vigorously.
so there's
Great.
no. Oh, yes, it's
I love a
great.
dirty man.
I shove like a washcloth up there.
You know what?
That sounds so painful.
Whatever gets the job done. If I'm putting my tongue down there, it better be like a goddamn like fresh out of the dishwasher.
But I've
clean.
also had dudes like who will take me out on dates. This is like somebody I'm seeing consistently
Sure,
for
sure.
a while. Sorry, I had to preface that. But like he took me out to like a nice Italian meal. I was full. We got drunk. And then he ate my ass. And I was like, I didn't even shower. He's like, I don't give a fuck. And I was like, I love you.
Have you ever had your ass ate and you're like, I think I'm gonna fart?
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
switch up positions.
That is honestly my greatest fear right now. Having this conversation is the idea of having my mouth wide open.
if you had a girlfriend
Yeah.
and you're going down on her and she farts, what do you do?
Yeah.
in my mouth.
It's over.
It's you're down there.
Well,
I
no,
don't
no.
know.
Are we? What you said going down?
said it's over.
Hold on a
It's
second.
over.
You're breaking up with her?
What if it's an accident? What if you pushed on her stomach too hard?
That's not. What the fuck?
I
I've
would
never
suck
heard
in
that
the fart.
before.
First of all, why are you using? First of all, why are you using the resistance of her stomach to hold you up?
So if you eat somebody out, a really good tip is you press
Push on their stomach?
Yeah, like right above where the slit ends and you press and you kind of pull up.
Oh, I do that.
That also creates pressure. And if you're gassy, you know.
Okay, so here's my question. But if you
should tell me.
I don't know sometimes though. You want me to do yoga? I have to twist like a pretzel for like an hour.
You
to
know
make
if you're
sure
about to fart.
No, it just sometimes it's there.
No, that's not. No, what?
No, I always know, and I wouldn't like let him.
No,
eat
you
my
don't know
ass.
when you wake yourself up farting.
That's because I'm asleep.
Because you're asleep.
Yeah, I would. Okay, what if you're on a date with someone? She's sleeping over, and then she wakes both of y'all up from her fart.
That's fine.
That's fine.
I want to answer the last question. If I'm eating her out and she farts, it's different. If like I thought you meant eating her ass and she farts in my mouth, then we're having a problem.
You just wail on her.
You donkey puncher.
Sorry, I'm not from Boston. I don't do that.
You cold cocker.
Yeah, sure. I would never lay my hands on a woman.
He's saying that for the record.
We can roll the tape. No, I mean, like, if a girl farted in my mouth while I was eating her ass, which I've never eaten ass, I don't know how I would handle that well. First of all, it's not like it would be over completely between us. It's over in that moment. Like, I'm not going back down there for a while.
A while? Okay, Stewie.
I remember we had a podcast guest, Marco Del Vecchio. Shout out to Smoochy Town Pod. And he had a horror story where he went down and ate a girl's ass for the first time because he's like not even into it, and it tasted like poop.
See, so there you go. So
exactly why I won't fucking do it.
So after hearing shit like that, I will never do this.
No.
But then I'm like, that girl.
Have you ever seen a good butt though?
Isn't clean, and we were talking about it on her podcast.
Not enough to eat it, but definitely to push a thumb or like a finger in there. Why not?
Yeah. What finger do you use in the butt?
I didn't know it was that.
I don't know if there was an option.
Yeah.
What does it matter?
Well, you got 10 of them.
The pinky.
I mean, whatever the thickest one is. I don't know.
I would probably do it with my left hand.
Pinky? What am I fucking doing? Tea?
Yeah.
You're doing cocaine out of her butthole.
Yeah.
A little scoop.
Never done it. Also,
cocaine.
Never done cocaine.
Oh, comics who've never done cocaine. What a rarity.
Yeah, I mean, my mom hugged me. I'm not that fucked up, you know.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
You know, sorry.
How long have you been doing comedy?
6 years.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And only in New York?
Yeah, I'm from New York.
Wait,
Okay.
6 years?
Has it been 6?
No, I
Do you
think
count
it's
the
been longer.
COVID year?
Count COVID.
If you count the COVID year, it's 7.
7?
Yeah. Well, I didn't do stand up during COVID.
I didn't either. So I mean,
Yeah, I don't think anyone.
if I don't count COVID, I count. I say 8.
We were in Boston.
Oh.
Yeah, so I started it in 2019. So I did it for like 8 months. COVID happened.
Yeah.
I did some topless comedy shows for Black Lives Matter.
What does
on
one
Zoom.
have to do with the other?
I donate all the proceeds.
Oh,
I did topless comedy on my OnlyFans, and then I donated.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
I was doing that, and then I was like selling. I was an open micer at best, and in my room topless, just telling my jokes, which sucked, and people bought it. And then I was like, oh, well, during Black Lives Matter, we've already protested and done a bunch of stuff. Why don't I just do a topless comedy show and I'll just donate everything?
Wow.
But people who didn't know that I was doing that for my job already just ripped into me, and I got like canceled.
Canceled?
Like in every comedy group across the country on Facebook, because I posted it in every group trying to sell tickets to raise
not
money.
knowing that you were spamming.
And then people were like, you're centering yourself in the movement, because I didn't have any other comics. I'm like, what comic is going to want to get topless on a Zoom that's not protected?
Right.
I can't protect them. So I'm not going to assume that anyone's going to want to do that. I just personally don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And so after the mini cancellation, a bunch of comics came out and ended up helping me, and it was super successful. We raised like $4,000 in one show.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was cool.
People
so you've done more for Black Lives Matter than a lot of open micers in general.
Yeah, they just posted a black square and you showed your tits, so good for you.
Right? I was like, what a great way to get Republicans and people anti-BLM to buy tickets.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm an innovator of my time.
Gomez Adams vibes. Do you like Candace Owens?
Do I love Candace Owens? No, I don't. Here's the thing. I don't watch political commentary.
Wait.
Unless I want to laugh.
Yes, will this blow up? I love you, Candace Owens.
Okay, guys, what do you prefer when a girl is talking about your penis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you like them to call it a dick or a cock?
Cock.
You're a cock guy?
Yeah.
But in the are we talking about in the moment of sex?
Yeah.
Cock.
Why?
It sounds big.
It's just something. It's a very aggressive. It's almost like like empowering.
Powerful.
When a girl says cock, because I think it's also a little bit of the porn, too. Because I feel like I feel like in porn, mostly you hear like my cock, not like
My pee-pee.
my dick. Yeah.
My witchopeka.
my wiener, my schmeckle.
Yeah.
I feel like cock is definitely a more powerful word.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to feel like a
We've
man?
gotten arguments about this.
We have.
About wait, if you say my dick, I feel like that's more jokey.
Yeah.
Well, we
It's like, hey,
I think
you like my dick?
I feel like cock like sounds like a middle-aged British man
Yeah.
being like, "Take my cock, little
Well, if
one.
you say it
Okay,
like
unless
that.
you're
You want a
thinking,
cup of tea with that cock, mate?"
is that how you have? Is that your kink? Are you have a
So
Mary
many
Poppins
people.
kink?
No.
I have a
Sure
kink
about
for
that?
everything.
True about that?
Well,
If
if
I'm
she
horny
wants to
enough.
take me a spoonful of sugar, I'll take it anywhere, any hole.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
Moving on.
All right.
If she, yeah, all right.
Cock.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Cock.
She likes dick. I'd say cock.
You like dick?
I do love dick.
No. I mean, like
The word.
you like saying the word dick over saying cock.
I do love dick.
Yeah, if you're talking dirty in bed, you don't say cock anymore.
No, I say both.
Now you say both,
Yeah.
but you didn't.
I
say
think
both?
I think you could say both, but I think the one that would probably do it the most is cock.
Yeah, well, give me your dick.
Yeah, that's weird.
I think I would say like I'll suck your dick. If I'm
Suck
saying it
your
like
dick.
that sounds more natural and flowy.
yeah.
But I'm gonna be like, if I'm saying like, oh, that feels so good, I'm not gonna be like, your dick feels so good. That sounds weird to me. It
I
doesn't
feel
sound-
I feel like it's the way it's said, though. I think it just has to be said with that type of confidence, where you're just like, I think it's like anything else. If with the right amount of confidence, it could sound great.
Okay, how do you refer to a vagina?
I say pussy.
Yeah.
I say angel.
My sweet,
My sweet rosy angel.
I like him.
I like him too.
Angel wings. Right?
You got your angel wings?
Flower.
Dude, stop pandering.
The meaning of life. Now that's pandering right there. God. I'll say God.
God.
Yeah.
This
Honestly,
episode
if
is
somebody
sponsored.
went down on me and was like enacted like it was some divine being. I think I would come.
It would work.
Well,
It
yeah,
would.
because that's ultimate worship right there.
Yeah.
Literally.
I love.
Yeah, I love
have a
being
worship
worshipped.
king.
God.
This episode is sponsored by the Bible
Yeah.
And the Torah.
and the Torah, which is also the Bible
And the
Baruch
Quran.
atah.
The Quran.
and the Quran
The Quran, yeah, we're multifaceted here.
Yeah.
and the golden tablets that Joseph Smith rescued from
No,
Utah.
fuck Joseph Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Mormons too.
You know what? I didn't realize that I was soaking before Mormons made it cool.
And that's the one where you
Oh,
when you
yeah.
just leave it inside and
And
nothing happens.
like somebody
And then
jumps on the
somebody-
bed.
You've done that before?
No, but like I wanted to.
I have had sex, and I'm like, just leave it in there.
Yeah.
And let's cuddle. Don't take it out.
That's called cock warming, and I turned out that that's my kink.
That's a real term.
Yeah.
Cock warming.
I really like that. Like the idea of I have this fantasy of being like in somebody's office, like under their desk, just like having their dick in my mouth and just like sitting there while he does meetings. I don't know why I like that.
It's a cool scenario.
I'd like to be there.
But also, like, everyone works from home now, so it's like not as exciting.
Yeah. I'm like under his bed.
Your head was your head
See, like,
comes out
they're having-
underneath the couch.
He's having
and
a
you're like,
Zoom. He's having a Zoom meeting, like on his fucking stomach. He's like, "Hey guys, what's going on?"
Oh, I
Like,
gave a blowjob during someone's on a Zoom meeting.
Wait, what?
Oh, so many. I've gave BJs while they're on the phone with their mom, and I'm like,
Oh,
and I
That's
make it
weird.
two
That's
hands.
weird.
No, that's hot.
Or like I'm blowing them.
No,
and
it's
they're-
not.
And
That's
they answer
hot.
the phone. They're like, I gotta take this, and I'm like, you can take it right here.
Wow. Saves time.
Oh God, I wouldn't. No.
I don't think you'd be able to handle it.
Well, obviously not.
You'd be like, Mom!
I would say no, but also it'd be happening. So what am I going to do? Make you stop?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you would do it.
I don't want to know that. I want to go on record to say that I've never done that.
Shout out
Because my
Brad's
mom tries to watch everything that I do, and it's a problem.
Oh, hi, Mom.
But she loves you.
She does love me.
That's cute.
Unconditionally, she's my biggest
She's gonna be
fan.
like those two goddamn.
I showed my mom
redheads.
Shane Gillis' special yesterday.
Did you
What'd
like
she
it?
think?
She thought it was hilarious until we got to the cum part, and I had to cut right over that part. We fast forwarded over at least good 5 minutes of material where she's like, "All right, that's enough," and I'm like, "That's fair."
Oh,
We should
so your
probably-
mom won't even listen to this part
Yeah, probably not.
or the whole.
I'll probably just
podcast.
tell her not to listen to this podcast, even though she'll probably do it out of curiosity anyway.
Did you listen to the first one we did?
I don't remember. I think she saw the clips.
Okay.
The clips, like, we had very dating clips. Like, ours were very datey. Like,
Yeah. Whenever a guy asks me on a date, I think about how you told us
About Mondays and
about
everything?
the best like dates times to take a girl out.
oh, I think
Was it Mondays, Tuesdays?
I said like, what did I say? I said I said Friday is the horniest day of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's like you're going on a nice date,
Mm-hmm.
and I said Mondays are when you're just trying to get it in,
Yeah.
or you're going on a first date, which are basically the same thing.
That's true. If I'm seeing you on a Monday,
It's not because your
I'm down bad.
your priority is to get to know your dick, and that's it.
I don't know what that's like.
What if he asks you out on a Sunday, like the Lord's Day?
Sunday is definitely like, first of all, Sunday, I feel like that's a day drinking day. I feel like if you're going to go on a date at all, it should be like a brunch date.
Oh, I love
That'd be fun.
I love like a brunch.
That'd be real fun.
drinking.
And that's also like a real test. Like if you guys get fucked up with each other and don't want to strangle each other, I think that's pretty solid.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
So just do cocaine on your first date, and if it all works out, then you can get married.
How do we get to cocaine?
That's not what we said, Emily.
I heard it.
All right, what are your guys' type?
My type? Not anyone submissive, like personality wise. I don't like that.
Okay, so you like a dominant personality?
Not dominant, like I
Not
got
like masculine, but like
yeah, like someone
they
like,
take
yeah,
up space. Like they,
That's one way to put it.
or like
Okay.
they walk in a room and people notice them. Like they have a different energy about them,
I
right?
guess
Like you like more extroverted?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's the right word. Yeah,
Would you consider yourself more quiet?
it depends on who I'm around.
He's like,
He's not when he's with me. He's definitely not
Like,
introverted.
Yeah. No, yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, but I've also brought him around friends where like he does like, I think the more he's around people he's comfortable with, he'll definitely like open up. Even like
Yeah.
like four of us, like kind of thing. I would want somebody. I mean, like I do currently have somebody who's extroverted, but like a hybrid, which is nice, where they're able to be extroverted in like rooms, but at the same time be able to pull it back.
Okay.
I need both too.
I think it's like a nice mix to be able to do both. I feel like there are times where I like to be the star of the show in a relationship, but at the same time, I kind of like somebody who kind of outshines me a little bit in like social situations because it's like I already have to do this a lot, so like I would rather them take up the room.
Sometimes like you don't want to have to be on.
No, of course not. I think
I
that was
like
like the
that.
beginning, like when we first started comedy, like we always wanted to be on, and I think like the longer you do this shit, you're just like, ugh, I'm so tired. Like
It's exhausting.
I only want to be on with the people I feel comfortable being on with. Like if I'm fucking around with him, like it's like, or you guys, like it's
Unless I'm
Yeah.
with like good friends that are like our boys and they're like all crazy, then I can like bring that energy, but I don't even like to go out anymore now because it's comedy, it's podcasting
Sure.
and all the editing and computer, and then I'm like messaging people and answering emails and setting things up, and by the time it hits 9 o'clock when people would go out, I'm just like, oh, I'm spent.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I've been at comedy shows where people are trying to talk to me, and I think some of the people here probably think I'm a bitch because I just don't talk to anybody.
You're drained,
and
yeah.
I'm drained, and I'm just like, and I'm like this. I'm like, I'm just here to get my fucking 10 minutes and go.
To
like,
be honest, I became more of a hermit when I moved back to New York. I felt like when I was in LA, I was constantly going out, and like I feel like that's also kind of part of it. It's like you're constantly always going out. You're always like going to a party, going to like something where you have to be on all the time, or like shake hands, whatever. And ever since back to New York, it's like do the thing, and if like nobody wants to go to the diner or anything, it's like cool. I'm going fucking home.
I kind of
And,
love
like I don't
people
even
in New
hate
York
it,
are
but it is
assholes.
weird because I feel like when I lived in New York, I was so like go, like next thing, bar, whatever. It was like also you're in your young 20s where you're just like getting fucked up and whatever.
Yeah.
And every comedy's just a giant hang at that point because you're all nowhere in your careers. And the
Yeah.
more nowhere you are, the more time you have to spend with each other.
Yeah.
Sometimes I prep people. Like before my set, I tell the showrunner, I go, I'm gonna leave after my set, so don't think I'm an asshole.
That's good.
Yeah.
You're setting expectations. That's like
Yeah.
healthy
Where
communication.
a lot of comics Irish exit as soon as
I
they get a
hate
spot.
that.
But that's
Which,
fine,
Like,
but
but
if
it's
they
just
don't-
kind of like
I like the communication.
Yeah, just say,
well, of course, anyone does.
I always do that, like with bookers. Like I get to the show, I'm like, hey, I've been super busy today. I have to get home and edit. Like I appreciate you putting me on the show, but I gotta go
That's good.
immediately after.
That's great.
You know
I
what
think-
like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think most of the people here at least know our schedule and kind of the vibe. So they're at
Sure.
the beginning when we first got into the scene, we were doing the hang. We were doing multiple comedy shows every single night, making sure that we got to know everybody. And then once we did, I was like, I can't keep this going. I'm gonna be burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What I like doing is if I were to leave a venue at the same time with a comedian, and you know there's that obligatory walk to the subway, I ask them right before I go, do you want to be alone? And then if they say yes or no, whatever, and then then
Wow.
sometimes I tell them I want to be alone, and then
You're very emotionally
It's
mature.
I like
But
that.
some-
It took him a while to get there.
yeah, it took
Oh, I'm
me a while.
sure.
But
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think a
Yes.
comic did that to me, and I said I want to keep doing that.
That's dope.
yeah.
I like that.
I tell Brad all the time, leave me the fuck alone.
Well, Emily does that with me, and we like she'll just be like, "Hey, I don't want to talk today because I'm a talker.
good.
If I'm in the house, I'm like blah blah blah
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
and I just don't stop."
But
And
that's
Emily's
really
like-
healthy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she's just like, "Hey, I'm not in a talking mood today.
Yeah.
And then I cry internally, and I'm like, she hates me. But no, it's super healthy.
We are
and
not
it's
very
nice.
different.
I saw somebody on TikTok that does that with her husband, and I was like, oh, I should talk to Jamie about this. And you just like reminded me. They have what they call astronaut time, where they pretend they're like on the moon. So if you're on the moon, you can't be communicated with, obviously. So they go to each other. They're like, hey, I need astronaut time. And basically they could be in the same room, like existing around each other, but they won't speak to each other. I'm like, oh, that's a cool way to communicate that. Just be like, I need to be on the moon now.
That's such a like couples therapy thing. Like,
I'll let you
I'm
know,
gonna do
I could
astronaut
never
time,
date
okay?
anyone.
I'm gonna orbit around you, but don't fucking look at me.
If I was dating somebody and they were just like, I can't talk right now, I would respect it, but I think inside I would die.
No, you'd be fucking.
No, I would just like want somebody that would want to talk to me all the time because they love me.
Oh, so you want to be worshipped?
Yeah.
Isn't that a lot? I don't know. I've never lived with a partner. It's a lot.
I've never lived with a
partner.
partner either.
I've lived with one for 6 days.
I've done. I did.
What? Is it because of
2
that?
years.
No, he was cheating on me with his baby mama.
Oh,
All right,
that's
well,
nice.
that'll change.
And then I met Emily on Facebook Marketplace.
Wow.
I did 2 years of living with a girlfriend, and I could tell that I was a lot for her. 'Cause she
Really?
was very introverted, and she also was an only child, so they're so used to being alone and liking that alone time. And I can kind of see that was like definitely an issue that I was never. I mean, like we never went to couples therapy, but like also feel like it was something that was probably never going to get like. I was never going to be okay with it because it's like I do need to be able to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And it's like I actually gotten better of like less of like calling 100 of my friends because I used to do that a lot where I would go through like a list of friends and just start calling everyone and speak to them.
I do that too.
But it's like doing that all the time was so unhealthy because you're just like I'm draining myself and I'm also draining my friends and I'm like I don't want to have nothing to talk to them about.
Yeah.
I probably speak to him like every other like week, I'd say. Probably like once every week, maybe even.
That's what I do with my friends too.
I've gotten better at it. It's hard though. It's like because it's like I get that where it's like I feel like I need to be stimulated. I want to talk.
Yeah.
But I did date somebody that could not lay in bed with me.
Ugh.
So what did we call him? American Psycho is his nickname. It would go like this, and it would be 6 a.m. and it would be like beep 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 beep, and he'd go.
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus!
And he'd immediately get up.
Was he an NPC?
Literally, and I was like,
Time to go to the work shed.
And he had everything. He definitely had OCD, but he had everything like perfect. Like his whole routine was the exact same every day.
Is he a veteran?
No, he actually is in the military now, but
And I'm proud to be
we broke
a
up, and then he joined the
sociopath.
National Guard, and I was like, "Did I do something to you?" But yeah, we called him American Psycho. He'd like get up, he'd brush his teeth, he had a certain order, and I was just like, "Can we lay in bed for 5 minutes and just hold each other, and I'll kiss on you and maybe suck your dick?" And then he'd just be like, "No, I have to do my routine."
Does he?
Oh,
Oh yeah, that sounds like.
Where
That's
did he,
how I
where did he
wake
keep
up.
the raincoat and the axe?
Oh,
He could, yeah, I could see it honestly.
Here's a question: when you guys get married, would you have the same? Would you sleep on the same bed or separate beds?
I think 2 bedrooms is super healthy.
Yep.
I think sometimes sleeping alone is also super healthy. Majority of the time, I'd want to sleep together. But I also think I'm going to have a job where I'm traveling a lot. So when we do get the chance to sleep together,
You're
it's
gonna
going to.
want to, yeah.
You're going to want to. And if I was away and they were like, I'm going to sleep in my room tonight, I'd be like, who are you fucking on the side? You know what I'm saying? I would be like, what's going on here?
That's an interesting conversation. I mean, like, I feel like I've heard there have been like studies done where it's like there have been married couples that have actually had long-term marriages because they didn't always sleep in the same bed.
I think it's healthy.
I think it's totally healthy. Like, I think it's exciting in the honeymoon phase of your relationship when you first move in with each other. You're all just like snuggly and fucking and all that shit. And then it's like there's a certain point where you're like, I would love if there was another room. You know,
Yeah.
it gets to that point, and it's like I think it's also the idea of like being able to keep making your relationship spicy enough to keep blossoming and whatever that may entail. Because I think eventually, obviously, you hit ruts. Things get dry. Literally,
Yeah.
I've never
metaphorically.
experienced that.
Well,
And she's got the WAP.
okay. Well,
Have you ever had a dead bedroom?
what do you mean a dead bedroom?
That's what they call it on Reddit, where like you're not having sex.
Yeah, that's the end of a relationship usually.
I had a
usually
boyfriend that
that's-
just would never fuck me. And I had to
He
beg
was
him.
gay. Definitely gay.
Or maybe he was just asexual.
I think he
there's that.
and then he couldn't really keep it up or anything. And I'm like, I remember one time I was on top and I was like, I want you to be aggressive with me. And he flipped out on me. I was like, thought I was being hot. And he just like made me feel so not wanted. And he yells and he's like, now if you want it your way, and I feel like I'm being controlled in this, and I just want to do it my
Sounds like a gay man.
Sounds
and
like
I
a
was
gay
like,
man.
He probably had a porn addiction.
I think
No,
he had low T. I think
no,
he had low T.
I think he was gay.
Okay.
Well,
He wouldn't fuck you.
Gay.
like it was once
Gay.
every 2 weeks.
No.
I fucked him maybe like 6 times in our whole relationship. We did for like 6 months.
Gay.
It's tough, yeah.
And I was like, I would cry. I'd be like, and what sucked was I was like I gained a bunch of weight from tearing my LCL playing soccer in college. And I didn't have health insurance. So I gained a bunch of weight. And then that summer I lost all of it. And I had like a fit body. It was like the first time. And I got back to my senior year and I was like, I'm ready to fuck. And then I ended up dating somebody and he wouldn't fuck me. And I was like, I'm now at my hottest and you won't fuck me? Like, what is this?
What a power move.
Yeah.
Right?
What a power move on his
It
end.
fucked with
Or
me
maybe
so
the
bad.
gayest thing he could have done. But either way,
A gay power move.
gay power move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he was a
I've done
power
that.
bottom. Who knows?
Oh.
I would have pegged him.
Did you
You know
ask
what?
him?
You never asked. You never asked.
No, I wasn't like super sexual back then. I didn't really know what
But
was
now
going
you would have been
on.
like, what size do you want? You pull out like fucking 4 of them like it's an arsenal.
Yeah, I got
You gotta have
Top drawer.
options.
Yeah, of course. Everyone's got a size that they could take.
But we were
Oh.
we were talking about the dead bedrooms and stuff like that's usually the sign of kind of like a
That's-
dying
that's it.
relationship.
We in the last, I'd say like 3 months of my last relationship, the long one. There were times where I would turn her down, and like I'm a very horny person, where it's like if I'm turning down for sex, something's up. Like,
Yeah,
and
you
that's
mentally check out.
you mentally check out, and then when you're
Yeah.
having sex, you're not fucking there. Like
Yeah.
it's just like you're thinking of everything but what's in front of you, which is crazy because it's just like this person is happily sitting on you. You know, like it's
Very
like,
happily.
yeah, very happily, and then you're just like, man, and like the amount of porn you watch. I had to watch porn during sex to get through sex.
Wow.
Yeah.
My last
Why?
relationship
Because
was
I
like,
just wasn't into it
so you had to watch porn
to like get horny and
That's
want to do it.
crazy.
Yeah, I was super checked out.
that
'Cause
was
you were
my
done with
last
the relationship.
relationship.
I think we were both done, but like I got to the point where I was just so numb, and like I felt like that was the only thing I like helped, and I also was like really overweight. I was not taking care of myself. I was just not happy, and it just felt like it was like reaching its breaking point.
I do. Sometimes though, like for girls, like we're hormonal, so there are certain times of the month that I just like I have no sex drive.
Sure.
And like it sucks to say if I'm like visiting and traveling somewhere and I haven't seen them in a while and I'm there for 5 days and it's like right before my period, so I'm like the lowest energy. I have no sex drive. I feel obligated to fuck them even though my body doesn't want to.
That's crazy.
Because I'm like dating them or something and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to like to keep this relationship going, I have to fuck you so you don't do something. But then I'm like, it's in a
But I
weird
think you
thing.
just communicate that
What if you
like
just tell them?
You're just not
Yeah.
into it at that moment.
Whatever you just said, just say it to.
Oh, I know, but it does like then I sit there when I'm not fucking them and then I feel guilt and then that feels worse
Jamie,
sometimes than
Yeah, but you
no, you gotta tell them like what's going on. It's not like you don't want to at all, but if you forcibly want to like make them happy by having sex with them, that's gonna make them also feel like shit if they knew that like you only did it because you feel like you had to.
I feel like some guys don't give a fuck about that.
Well, that's also
Well,
because
that's
most guys are
bad,
dead
yeah.
inside and
Yeah,
don't
we're
actually
not
work out their
dating
shit,
anymore.
and you shouldn't be dating people. Like
yeah,
that either
yeah.
way.
No, I'm learning from my past.
Oh,
But I feel
I'm
like
happy.
it's
Oh,
just
fuck
one of
that,
those
yo.
like I've done so many long distance relationships that's where it gets like
I'd
I'm not
rather-
going to see you for 3 months or 2 months or something crazy like
right.
you know.
I'd rather have the conversation of like, look, like I'm like not there for you, like in this moment, like I can't do that right now because it's not something I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I would feel
Well,
way
once
better.
I'm in it,
I would
I'm there.
feel way better. Yeah, I'd feel
Like,
way better knowing that.
the
you'd
way to-
rather
the way
have
to get
that
out of
than
that-
not have sex.
Yeah, I'll just break up. No, I'm just kidding. No.
You're an asshole.
No.
She's like, I'm not feeling good right now. I
I
don't
would
want to
just
fuck
throw
you.
her
You're like,
entire
I'm done.
suitcase out the window. What would you guys do?
I buy her a flight home.
Yeah, I'd actually,
I got you
I'd
an
start
Airbnb.
packing it all in boxes for her. Actually,
I just move out of my apartment, leave the lease to her.
yeah. I actually I would remove all the furniture and it just would be a bunch of. It's all the fucking. It's like squished like carpet. You're like, oh wow, there used to be a couch here.
That's so sad.
Yeah. That took way too long to get to.
Glad we had that talk.
Okay.
It's all right, you know. Sometimes you stutter
I just
through
want a
bit.
boyfriend.
Jesus Jesus
all right.
Christ.
I just want a man friend. I don't want a boyfriend anymore. I want a man.
You got Brad.
Future guy tunes into this episode. They're like, Jesus Christ. They're like, what?
I feel
Okay,
like a cat in heat right now.
Do you guys think that chemistry is necessary?
100%.
Why? Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Okay, thank you.
But I sometimes don't think.
Has someone
I think
argued
some people
this?
just
Wait,
rely
what?
on chemistry, and
What?
just because you have chemistry does not mean you're compatible.
Okay.
Just chemistry.
Okay, I get that. But I think the ultimate test to being with somebody is the chemistry, because the idea of being with someone and having no chemistry, you're roommates.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that? You know, I always found, not to contradict what
No,
you're
you're
saying,
fine.
but I remember I saw some video. You know, they have those videos where they go like, "How'd you two meet?" You know, those TikTok
Yeah.
videos?
I love those.
Right, and there was like this one. There were a few of these where they were an Indian couple, and they go, "How'd you two meet?" And they go like, "It was an arranged marriage." And they go like, "Wow, when did you guys meet each other before you got married?" They're like, 2 days. And they go, "And how long have you guys been married?" 30 years, and we're happy and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It's sort of like if you're young enough and then you just get together, your personality is like clay or Play-Doh, and then it just molds with the other person.
You're more malleable.
Sure.
Yeah, so
Also, I think love's a choice. So it's a
Choice,
choice
yeah.
to show up every day, whether or not
Yeah.
you get along with someone all the time, or
Yeah.
maybe they have different aspects of their personality. Like
Right.
sometimes I just want like another version of me, and I'm like, no, you don't. You want somebody who complements it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do not want another Emily. I absolutely would never date myself.
That's
it's just-
concerning.
No, I just want somebody who compliments me, but not me.
I think it's like, I guess in past relationship, I've had somebody where it's like the only chemistry we had, I'd say in the beginning, was sexual. And then I have somebody in my life now where it's like, it's both.
That's what you want.
And that's what you want. If you
Yeah.
could see,
When I have
if you
both,
could see
they're
how, if you could
fuckboys.
see how contagious it is
no.
on both ends, I think that's the answer to chemistry, where it's like, yes, as long as chemistry is answered in both ways. If it's not just sexual, then no, that's a no-go. I think that's when you are relying on pure just physicality.
Just
to carry.
lust.
Lust is not a relationship. That's
No.
I feel like you can teach
that's a
somebody how
moment.
to be good in bed. I care more. I'm like, are you emotionally intelligent? Can we communicate and have chemistry that way?
Right.
Like during problems and the times that are not so nice.
I don't like going to
Some
bed.
people
I
you
don't like
don't
going-
have chemistry when shit hits the fan, and you realize like it's just there's always a disconnect, and you can fuck good and you can have fun together, but if you can't
resolve an
communicate
issue.
well, then that's an issue.
I don't like going to bed angry. I think it's my least favorite thing. Like, I want to know. Like, I'm also somebody who's like, listen, we go on stage every fucking night, right? And it's like the immediate validation of knowing the answer, I think, will carry on and bleed into your life, where it's like, I need to know,
Same.
why are you upset? What did I do? What can we do to fix this? So we can just at least wake up tomorrow going, okay, that was a thing. We're over it. Let's move forward.
It doesn't always work like
and
that.
of course it doesn't.
Yeah, 'cause
no.
you're more like, I
No.
think
And
Emily-
I'm not saying that I think that everybody can be like that. I feel like it.
It can be. Well, I'm like that, so I like do that to all my partners, and sometimes they
It's
don't
a lot of
do
self
it.
work to get to that point too. I mean, like, it's not something that you can like easily get there. But I think it's like if you trust your partner enough, like that wall will open up
Yeah,
enough.
you're
Yeah.
safe.
You're safe, and it's like nothing bad will happen if we talk about this. And like,
No,
Yeah.
like,
I
but
used
it-
to be like that, where I needed that immediate validation that everything was going to be okay because I thought I was going to be abandoned. But as I've matured more, I've realized that some problems can't be fixed in an hour conversation. Sometimes you need some space to cool down and process your emotions so you
Right.
can effectively communicate. I would rather not solve a problem immediately and allow us to get our thoughts together and know that we
Right.
love each other enough that we're not going to bed mad, but we can still be upset about something, but there's still
Right.
love there and the desire to work through that the next day.
And I think that's a valid point. I think when I say go to bed angry, I don't mean like we have to do it right then and there. It's like, it's more of like, can we take a couple minutes, gather ourselves collectively, and then have
You're
this
like, you still wanted the same night.
I still want the same night, but like
Me too.
but I think it's like more like, I think that's also the impulsiveness of myself that I'm trying to work on, where it's like I feel like there will be an immediate answer, or it's like, no, if you're still hot, you're still hot. Like, you can't, you need to cool down. Like,
Yeah.
you need a second. And I think if you give yourself time to allow yourselves to go, I need, like, give me a few minutes. Let me collect myself so we don't say things we regret or whatever have
and that's
you.
also mature that you're now able to see that
Yeah.
some people need that and that you might need that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
Wow, maturity.
How do you handle
I
conflict?
yell. No, I'm just kidding.
You're a yeller.
I'm a yeller too, but I'm not yelling in like a. I'm yelling because it's like the louder I am is like there's so much emotion. It's not like I'm trying to yell at them. I'm just being loud. Like I'm talking like this, and everything is raised, and it's.
You get it. You're an
It's like-
Aquarius. You're fiery.
It's like a Boston. Like that's how my mom grew up. Everyone in my family. We could all be like, blah, 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 and then we're like, all right, where do you want to go after this?
But, like,
and it's not
okay.
meaning we're like,
That's where I'm going to
depends
step in.
on-
You can't blame a fucking city on screaming at each
it's
other.
not blaming the city. It's just like if you're raised to not to go like, okay, we're yelling, but then after that, there are no repercussions after the yelling.
Right.
and some
There's
people
nothing
you
going
yell
on.
if you raise your voice, like
They're not raised that way.
They're not raised that way, and then so
Yeah.
they're like, this person's crazy, and I'm like, oh no, we were just raised different.
Yeah,
But I was raised that way.
I grew up in a yelling house. Yeah,
I did too, and I
yelled.
don't like that now.
that's
No,
fair.
I hate it
Yeah.
because
No,
I was
I
just like
don't.
nothing gets accomplished. It's just a bunch of people like yelling over each other.
If I'm
Yeah.
venting in my house, I'm yelling.
But venting is different than getting in an argument, like screaming at somebody. Like you can vent and be aggressive.
But I've been disrespected, and I've like raised my voice and be like, go ahead and fucking disrespect me, like let's do it. And it's because they're being like really pieces of shit.
That's different than vent. No, I'm saying you said venting. We're talking about arguments. We're talking about people being shitty. Like if you're venting, that's your emotion. That's your passion. Say however you need to say it. But
Why
if we're
can't you do
arguing
that
it-
in an argument then?
But in an argument, I think it's like this.
What?
It's like when I hear yelling in an argument, that goes. I feel like they're trying to get something out instead of just being like, "Hey, what's the problem here?" Like I'm on your. It's almost like when I'm in an argument, I go, "I'm on your side. I want to make sure this ends, whatever it ends." Oh no,
What?
Do you guys raw dog? You don't raw dog.
I don't. Only if I'm with somebody.
Yeah.
like if I'm with somebody, yes.
Yeah, if you're in
That's
a-
why I make like men get a STD test.
I don't trust anybody in these streets.
No, you can't.
No.
No, I don't either. Not especially in Miami.
Yeah, I heard
Miami?
Miami, there's.
I feel like it sounds like an STD when you say it like that. Miami.
Do you have Miami?
I got a little bit of Miami.
I think I've only had sex with one person I met in Miami.
Nice.
I've had sex with 2 people I've met here. In 3 years, that's
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's not bad.
I usually just like
Not in
fuck
Miami.
somebody that I'm usually just not fucking.
I don't know why. I
That's
always,
okay.
I'm sober from dick.
You don't
wrong
have
with
to
that?
be. No one's
I
making
do
you.
though. Like for my survival, I'm withering away. I'm like,
Was that a frog?
That was a burp.
That was a frog. You got a frog.
I'm waiting for my Prince Charming, so I got my frog
so
in my
you can
throat.
suck the frog out of you.
Yeah, he's got to suck something out of me. Might as well be a frog.
You know what? There could be worse things.
what were we? You were hitting a really good note before.
Okay,
we
so
started.
what I was saying is like
Intelligence.
we were talking about like going to bed angry, working it out. I think it's like, oh, fuck, what was it?
We can listen to it.
No, we
It's
don't.
been going, so I don't know where it. I never
Something
stopped
about
it.
yelling. Like don't.
Oh yeah,
yell.
so this is a perfect example. So
Yeah.
like my last relationship, she would get very like bitey in the like conversations, like if there was conflict.
Like snappy.
Snappy, and I was just like, yo, like I'm on your side regardless if we have differences in this current chat and this like this conflict. We shouldn't have to raise our voices at each other because that's just being like, I need to be heard, and that's why I'm raising my that's what I know with my parents. It was a matter of like, hear me, and it's like both of you are not listening to each other. You're both not giving each other
Yeah.
a chance to talk because you feel like you have to say something or scream your point or you're not going to be understood. I think that's what yelling is to me. Yelling is literally just an excuse to be heard.
Interesting.
It's not anyone feeling like, oh, but my point's more important. Like, it does shit.
Yeah.
Everyone's afraid that they're going to be wrong in whatever point they have or not be able to see the point in someone else. That's
I
trust.
also think yelling too, though, can be like that person if I'm getting to a point where I'm yelling, like that person has pushed me.
Sure.
And they know that. And they're like almost purposely trying to push you to that point. So you yell and they can turn it on you. Like, look, you are the bad
Well,
person.
is that
Yeah.
gaslighting? No?
It's like manipulate. I don't know. Yeah, some sort of.
gaslighting would be like saying to somebody like you did something and being like, oh no, I didn't. Like it's just like it's
You're crazy.
Like
You're
convincing them they're crazy.
Yeah, convincing
Yeah.
they're crazy for a second, but like to push you to the limit is, I think it's manipulation. I would say, if anything.
Yeah, but the last 2 times I used to be a yeller, like in relationships. My last relationship didn't yell at all, but like I just walked away with grace. I was like, when I'm quiet is when you got to be scared of me. Like when I'm like, okay,
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
What's up? You know what I mean?
What are you
'Cause
singing?
I've also realized some
that's a
people
rap
want
song.
to. Some people want you to get to that point so they can just take your energy.
But there are
and,
people
like,
who literally get off to fighting, and it's like I don't really, I don't get that. 'cause
I've
it's
never felt that way.
but there are, again, everyone's got a different bag, you know. Like I don't get that. I don't get any like fuel from it. If anything, I just get more upset. I just get more disappointed. Like
I used to be that way though. Like I
really
reconnected with my ex recently, and he was talking about how I would fight and I would just yell at people. Like if they pissed me off, I would just start yelling at them.
You?
Yeah, very much so. And I would
I've
start.
never seen you yell.
You yelled at me for yelling at someone, and you called me out for it.
Yelling?
Yeah.
Well, when you were like, "Fuck you," you're wearing a Yankees hat, yelling.
No, but I do
This
that.
is the most Boston thing I've heard in my life. Fuck you and your fucking Yankees hat.
I
done
literally
that
had
so
to
many
pull
times.
Emily from. We were drunk and we were walking down the streets of Boston. Some guy, she was like, "Hey, fuck you, fuck the Yankees," and he's like, "You're a FAG," like or something like. He's like, yeah. And
Bro,
then,
I will fight grown men over the Red Sox.
Yeah.
120%.
That's
that's the only time I've really seen
Hey,
you. I've
that's
seen you be
the
like more stern
dumbest
with
thing
people,
I've
but not
heard.
yell.
No, like when we were on like a cruise ship, and so I hate when people touch my food and like eat off my plate and share you. I don't like it.
Noted.
And he's like, I'm gonna do it every time I see you.
Oh, was this with
yeah.
Noah?
Yeah, and he like took my fork, ate half of my mac and cheese, and I got so pissed off, and my immediate reaction was to be like, what the fuck are you doing? And I cussed him out for like 5 minutes, and Jamie was like, hey Emily, that's not how you approach conversations. That's not how you do that.
I don't know if you heard the good word. It's unlimited.
No. First
You'll
of all,
get another mac and cheese. You're crazy.
I wasn't mad that you yelled in general. I was mad you were treating the guy I was interested in and trying to fuck rudely.
What a cockfuck. Not only
was cockblocking,
that's the worst
and I was
cockfuck of
like-
all time. It's not even like you were trying to fuck the person that she's talking to. You're like treating him like he's a fucking piece of shit for ever thinking that it'd be okay to eat a
And she
piece
was
of
like, I
mac
don't
and
like
cheese.
that guy, and I was like, I'm trying to have sex with him. Like, can you? Hey, can we take it a step back because he needs to like you to like me and be around both
But
of us.
also, why the fuck are you eating off my plate, you piece of shit?
In his defense, it probably looked like really
It was
good mac and
dank mac and cheese.
Dude, get your own fucking mac and cheese.
You know, it's one of those things of like, you ever see the I Think You Should Leave sketch where you just like, give me that.
Yes, I love that.
yeah.
I'm joking.
I'm
joking.
I think you should leave.
I want a bite. Give me that.
I want to make sketches like that.
Me too.
Good luck.
Thank you.
It's so funny.
It's such an art form. It's so hard.
It's such an art
Like to
form.
make that look as ridiculous and so easy. It's just like
He's so good.
he's very good.
I love seeing him on TikTok. There's like one specific version of him that they put over videos, and it's like,
Sure
when this
about that?
happens-
Oh, you
Sure about that?
Yeah. What's the other one where he's like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. Oh, he goes, we're all trying to find this guy. We're all trying to find the guy who did this. The hot dog suit.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
It's you. You drove the hot dog car.
Wait, what was the funny show that we watched with Wayne? That's a
The
really
review.
good.
Oh my god, the review on Apple TV. It's a guy who literally, it's like a TV show, and he reviews life, but not like I go out to a pizza place and try the food. Sorry, not a dig on you.
It's a comedy sketch. Each one's 5 minutes.
And he reviews like getting divorced. So he actually got divorced.
He goes being racist, and then like he'll be like, "I'm gonna review being a racist." So then he's like, and no matter what, he has to do his research and do whatever he can to fully embody whatever he's reviewing.
It was
That's
so
really
So
funny.
the whole sketch is like him like trying to be racist, and then he's like with his whole family and friends, and he's like one best black friend, and they start fighting, and he goes like, "You're a," and he like says the N-word, and then it's this whole thing, and then like he gets beat up, and he like at the same time he has a coke addiction because he reviewed cocaine and getting addiction.
Who's the face of the show?
Some white guy.
I don't. It's
But
an old.
it's very
older.
funny.
Glasses?
He's
Yeah.
like a nerdiest white
It was on
guy.
Comedy Central, like way.
It's
back
so
Was
funny.
it John Daly?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up on YouTube.
Or I think it's
It was so well done, and
not
each
John
episode
Daly,
kind of has like,
or maybe it is.
keeps
Is
it
he,
going.
is he a white guy with glasses and he looks very like nerdy looking?
Yeah.
He's got like
Oh
blonde
yeah,
hair.
that's I know exactly who that guy is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
he's
was
been around
so
forever.
good.
He's in semi-pro.
Okay.
He's the announcer in Semi-Pro.
There was a
yeah, this
hilarious
guy.
one.
Hold on. It was Comedy Central.
Next review is
Yeah.
Patty in Park City, Utah, texts. Doctors tell me I have to be careful because of all the addicts in the human cesspool that is my family, but I'm not so sure. Forrest, what's it like to be an addict?
Well, the only thing I've
Yeah.
been
Yeah,
addicted
I
to
remember
is a
this,
thirst for knowledge. I guess that doesn't count.
Yeah, that guy.
Don't think so.
It's and he like
I remember
becomes an
that show.
addict and gets
He,
addicted
like-
to coke.
That's funny.
He spends his kids' college fund. There was
Yeah.
one where he reviewed a sex tape and his wife wouldn't do a sex tape with him. So like he set the scene, he set the table for her, got roses, like candles. She was like, "No, I don't want to do a sex tape." So he's like, "I guess I'm going to have to do it without her." And it pans back to the same dinner, the same roses, same candles, and you don't know who it is. You think he's like fucking someone else who's not his wife, and then there's just like a life-size sex doll. And he's
funny.
it's so
And he's like
funny.
fucking it and shit, and he's like, and then at the same time he's doing cocaine because from the last episode he still has an
that's funny.
addiction, so it keeps it going. It's
You ever see
hilarious.
the Nikki Glazer from her show that she had on Comedy Central where she was feeding porn stars what to say to each other in their ear?
No.
They did a full scene. Like it was two like well-known porn stars, and Nikki Glazer and another comic were on microphones with earpieces for them to say weird shit to each
So
other.
it's like Impractical Jokers, but for porn.
But for porn, yeah.
Nice.
It's like a
Amazing.
brilliant premise.
I love
That's
that.
brilliant.
It was like a one-time sketch. They did it once, never did it
Ah.
again. And her show got canceled. Her show was funny. It was I think it was called like something like Not Safe with Nikki Glazer.
I love that.
I like that.
It was a
I
good
love
show.
Nikki Glazer.
She's
You
very
know who I
funny.
fucking love? Eric Andre. Eric Andre like
I saw him live once. He's great.
pioneered that weird style of humor that's so off-putting. It's hilarious. And I
Yes.
love that.
You have to watch his new thing. He did a 30-minute, or it's not 30 minutes. It's like 15 minutes. It's live from off Broadway, and it's like he did a show at Terminal 5. It's the most ridiculous. I mean, it's basically another episode of Eric Andre, but with audience members, and then he has like 2 guests. It's
I love that.
it's
shit.
so good.
He's so good.
funny.
Who's your favorite comedians from comedians?
From
Like
What?
you guys are
What?
comedians? Who's your favorite comedian?
From comedians. What was that?
Shut the fuck up. Just answer my fucking question. I swear to fucking God.
Emily,
What do you like, the
stop
fucking
yelling!
Yankees? Get out of my fucking house.
Oh well, this is what it's like. I'm not.
I
that-
think he does. He's a New York boy.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah, what is
familiar.
that? Yeah.
Go on.
If anything, you're probably turning them on. So, so
Speaking of Boston, I like Bill Burr a lot.
I love
Okay.
Bill
that's
Burr.
great.
Patrice, yeah, before he.
Louis C.K.
Yeah,
Is it Louis C.K. or
Louis.
Louis?
Louis.
I love Louis
Louis.
C.K.
That's what I
Louis
thought. You know when you like you say a word and you're like, I know that this is right, but then you second guess it.
Yeah.
I do that with a lot of words and names.
I you know what I was like thinking about actually today about like comedians. I always like used to say like my inspirations, and I was just like that wasn't really it. Like I remember the first like stand up comedy album I listened to, and it's also a special that like I could never repeat or like quote from, is Chris Rock's Roll with the New. That's
Okay.
like N-words versus black people, like like the jail
Isn't that Bring the
special.
Pain?
Like
I've never seen Chris Rock's
Wasn't that in
comedy.
Bring the Pain?
I mean, I have the album I had was called Roll with the New.
Rolling with the New.
Rolling with the New, and
Okay.
it's such a back-to-back funny fucking hour of just
I love that.
pure stand-up gold. And I never ever said that Chris Rock was an inspiration, but I was like, I used to listen to that album going to sleep. It was like Robin Williams, Chris Rock.
You heard the N word before.
I did before I
you
knew
were
I could
going to
even say it. Right, that's great. And then I heard the Donald Glover bit about that bit, and I was like, well, if Donald Glover can't say it, I certainly shouldn't be saying it.
Yeah.
That's how you learned.
Hey, that's how I learned. No, I was just like, I obviously knew after a certain point, I'm like, probably shouldn't even quote this. So
My first stand-up special I watched was Jim Jeffries.
wow, the gun control special.
It was when he was like, how many of y'all have a smart kid? And then he like has a whole bit like, and everyone raises their hand, and he just shits on parents,
Oh.
and he's like, "Your kid's a fucking idiot, probably." And he goes in about dumb kids.
Is this when he had the kid, or is this before the kid?
I don't remember this. I was in high school, so this is.
Oh,
like
it was probably before he had the
15
kid,
years
because he had a
ago.
I
kid.
remember that
This I think it was the second or third special. He had a kid.
I know
And he
that
talked about his
bit.
kid.
That's where he says, if you're a dumb cunt and if your wife's a dumb cunt,
Then
then you're
You're
gonna
gonna
make
have a
dumb
kid's gonna
cunts.
be a
Yes,
dumb cut,
and
yeah.
I love that.
I think that's the gun control special. We did the whole.
No,
it's after.
It's before.
Oh, it's before.
This is old. I didn't even know stand-up comedy like existed, and my ex was like, "Hey, let's watch this," and I watched that, and I remember when I decided to get into comedy, like that's kind of what I channel because I swear a lot. I'm very like
Right.
dirty, and I don't care. So
Oh.
I loved that.
My first special was Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias.
Oh,
Yes,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
I loved him as a kid. I was like 8 years
It's
old.
so
I was
easy
like,
to like that. I mean, he's fun voices. Like,
Yeah.
it's goofy, good storytelling.
him and Kevin Hart were
It's
like
very
what I
safe.
grew
He's
up
not
on.
the one who steals jokes. Who's that?
No,
Who's-
it's Carlos Mencia.
Carlos Mencia.
Wow.
What? I don't know.
You're like, which
Gabriel
one was it?
And
I don't
half the
know.
comedians in Miami.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh, really? They steal jokes?
That remember that bitch we were talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
You know,
Good
Miami
talk.
comics
Good
listen
talk.
to
Good
this.
talk.
that bitch sucks. I don't even know.
I don't even
I don't know
know.
what you're talking
Well,
about.
maybe if you didn't steal jokes, nobody would be talking about
Or
you.
maybe if you didn't talk shit about me to my co-host,
Yeah, but those people never.
That's such a
and then
fucking
turn around and then
fascinating-
ask me to come on the podcast,
That's a
eat my fucking ass.
Suck my dick.
But like,
I'm passionate.
but
You know
actually,
what'd be-
but actually, eat my.
no, but I
You know
really
what'd
like
be
it.
Interesting is if she has to be on this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
She
story's
talked shit
one.
about
The
me
story.
to Emily,
yeah.
and then 20 minutes later, and I didn't know about this,
Yeah.
turned in front of Emily and only addressed me and was like, "How come you haven't got me on your
You should
podcast?"
get her on, and then you guys can talk about this.
Wow, have a real fucking Mark
Heart to
Maron, a real Mark Maron
Yeah,
moment
just
there.
talk it out. Say like, who are you? Who hurt you? You know.
And then Jamie can go like this. She goes, I always hated you. Just do a Mark Maron.
But people that steal jokes, I always notice they don't really ever
They've
last
no-
anyway. So.
They don't. Well,
She's actually doing very well for herself.
this one's-
She is funny.
This one's
She's
different.
like she's funny and she's very talented and like does a bunch of stuff. But I just didn't like that.
What a
Yeah, I
talent.
understand.
Yeah.
Very talented.
So I feel like obligated to not like her because she turned to Emily and was like, "Don't tell Jamie this, but I think you're the funny one on the podcast."
Suck my dick.
Why even?
Cringe.
Well, at least you know she's listening.
And I'm like, "That's fine." You can-
So she's definitely gonna listen to this episode.
Yeah.
or like at least the clips and stuff.
Oh God.
Everybody's like, I love your podcast, and they like watch 3 clips.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happens all the time. I'm like, "Oh, what
Yeah.
episode did you listen to?" And they're like, "Oh, just the clips." And I'm like, "So you don't listen to the podcast?"
Because our attention spans are not made for podcasts anymore, unless you have a day job and you hate your life.
You just
or you
put
have a
your-
good podcast.
That's when I listen to
episode.
podcasts.
Yeah, literally.
Oh wait, we do have to do before we
Wrap a bow
sign
on it.
off. We did get a voicemail. We just got a voicemail.
Oh, you guys get questions, right?
Yes.
Sick.
So this is for the people by the people.
For the people.
I haven't listened to this one yet, so I have no idea what it is, but it's kind of long. You guys down?
That's
We
it. Let's
ready?
do it. Yeah, give it a roll.
Just audio.
And we'll
of someone
comment
dying
on
or
it.
something.
They're just like coming.
Wait.
Oh, God. My stomach's like, feed me.
Stoners, I am such a huge fan of you girls, and I'm so proud of how amazing the podcast has done over the last couple of years. But I have a story. So one thing I love about your podcast is talking about just these piece of shit men that we deal with, and going on your healing journey from dealing with the trauma of those piece of shit men. So here's a story of my piece of shit ex-husband. So he was a narcissistic dude, abusive in every way, verbally, emotionally, financially, sexually, all that stuff. And I've gone through a lot of therapy over the last few years since leaving him. And I found a fantastic way to cope is remembering embarrassing shit about them. So, these people can be kind of scary in their own way, but this definitely helps because it takes that weird sense of power away from them. And so I don't feel small. I just look at them and I laugh. So here is the story. He has not 1, but 2 misspelled tattoos. There's a quote from the show saying, "Love doesn't make sense." And on the other side of his chest, it said, "Because love is the best thing we do." You're so fucking deep, dude. So he's FaceTiming me, showing me this tattoo. And the first thing I realized is that, both sides of the quote on his chest are a little uneven, but I don't say anything. And then I look more at the quote that says, "Love doesn't make sense." And that's when I see the word "doesn't" is spelled DOSENT.
Oh no.
Not even an
It is
apostrophe.
tattooed on him. And I tell him this,
Dozen?
and he flips out, accusing me that I'm wrong, and even Googles it to make sure that it is. And, so he's freaking out, realizing that he has a misspelled word on right on his chest. And I look at the tattoo again, a little bit more. And imagine my shock that I realized the word "sense" in that quote is also spelled wrong. I told him this too, and he freaks the fuck out. And I felt really bad at first because I saw, how stressful it was. But low-key in the back of my head, I'm like, this fucking idiot. And I'm also judging this tattoo artist because, like, dude, fucking spell check, really? Couldn't even, like, double check. And you probably just saw the outline and was like, dude, we're good. Let's just get it done. And then even better, he goes back a couple days later to quote unquote fix it. They use this solution to like draw ink out of the skin, so once it's healed, they can go back and fix the spelling errors. He never went back and did that, so there's literally a big splotch. And then they even tried to, like, on the other spelling error, make a little heart, a little dinky little heart to try and change the lettering. It looks absolutely horrendous, and it's just that little sense of joy that I get that this is a man who would punch holes in walls when I told him to get off his fucking video games, and when I would accuse him of, flirting and texting other girls, he would flip out and throw these big baby boy man-child tantrums. And he has a spelling error in the same two spelling errors in the same tattoo. Makes me feel just a little bit better. Anyway, I absolutely love you girls. You guys are fucking fantastic. Keep up the amazing work. Bye.
Bye.
I feel like his name is Kyle and he drinks Monster Energy.
Can I just say something? Hot take.
No.
She's not over him.
She's still in love with him?
Still in love with him.
Love doesn't make sense.
Here's the thing. It's like, first of all, that is a coping mechanism, being like, oh, this is how I'm getting over it. I'm thinking about all the embarrassing things. I'm like, well, that's kind of reminiscing still. It's not like, that doesn't make you not get over that person.
Well, I think it's a different situation when trauma is involved. It's not like a normal breakup where you get over it. When someone causes trauma to you, like, that sticks with life until you heal it, and that takes time. So to make it easier, she's like, if I can, like, make fun of him, it feels better, and like
it's like you win a little bit.
It's not controlling you and making you feel tiny. And
I get that, but when I'm listening to her talk about like the passion behind it, it's like I know she's laughing about it and like looking back and like how insane and how fucked up this guy was. It was just like there's a part of me going, yeah, but I feel like if he texted you kind of would talk to him still. Like, not to say that she should be with that, but it's like you're not over it. Like I think here's the thing. I feel like I'm not a fucking therapist, but I think that if you're gonna get over a relationship, even the most traumatic ones, facing them head on is not to keep talking about them. And like I get it in the first couple.
I talk about all my exes.
I feel like in the first month when you talk about it because you're processing, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how fresh this breakup is. Maybe that's also the thing. We have no context of when they broke up. But what I think I'll say is that I think that the longer you hold on to those things, even trauma related, it's like you're not going to move on either.
I think you have to talk about trauma to move on. And her coping mechanism is clearly humor. So her way of trying to get over that is by making jokes so she can actually move on.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I don't know. I talk about my exes all the time, and it's like just because I can recite something with a lot of passion does not mean I want them or would go back to them.
Sure.
Like, we talk about Mr. Robotongue all the time, and that man ate my pussy unlike anyone else. I'll remember that forever. But fuck him.
But maybe it was like I don't know. Maybe I'm reading the passion of how she was saying it to you guys. Kind of felt like I was like, oh, I feel like there's still a piece of you that's still invested a little bit.
You would imagine if she told that story monotone for the part. Hey girls, love you. Yeah. So I had an abusive ex. He did this, and this is how I find a cope. She also knows our style, so she could just be playing into it and being entertaining.
It was definitely like, first of all, it took me by like the fact that he didn't spell check.
Yeah, where are your misspelled tattoos? You seem a little pressed.
First of all, I don't have any tattoos.
He's blank,
and I can't fucking live with that. That's a commitment I'll never go down with. Like, not to say I don't care if you have tattoos. I personally couldn't do it because I'm like, I don't know one thing that I put on my body being like, I'll be fine with this in 10 years. Also, you're getting writing on your body and you're not spell checking your shit.
That's crazy.
That guy is actually retarded. Like, that is the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. So yes, does sound like she was with a bad guy for sure.
Yeah,
he sounds like.
And
an
also
asshole.
the fact that he was on Xbox, like it's like all the shit where I was like, man, there's
like
so many red flags. Before she even mentioned how abusive and how narcissistic it was, I was like, no. I think we were missing all the things that are like, you shouldn't have been with him for these reasons.
Listen, we all look over red flags, okay?
Sure.
And sometimes the best dick is toxic dick. All right,
that's what I'm saying. This guy. Just saying, may have some good dick. After everything we heard, I was like, well, what's keeping you there?
The dick.
It's probably the dick.
It's the dick.
Fear of abandonment.
Yeah, for sure.
Being alone, codependency. There's a list of those.
The dick.
What were you going to say?
I just hope he's doing all right.
I'm wishing her well in life.
No,
yeah,
him.
wish her well.
Why?
No, I was just kidding.
He's just being a dick. Now you're getting the best part of the talk. It's just
No,
like,
he's. It seems bad. Did
For
she
sure.
say that she broke up with him right after that tattoo?
No, I
no,
don't
I
know.
think it was just
that.
reminiscing on it because she didn't even get into that.
Yeah, it was. She probably like they
Oh, here's
broke
a
up because
funny
obviously
story.
the abuse, and then she's looking back and she's like,
Damn.
Because sometimes it's like we have there's like beer goggles when you go out and you like
Sure.
rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you aren't even noticing those red flags about people or like those little things, and then you stop dating and you're like, how did I put up with that? This man,
I think it's because we always are told that you have to compromise. So sometimes I guess we go like, all right, so I guess I'll just deal with that.
A lot of people settle.
Well, no, I think that's one way to put it. Yeah, settling, compromise. I think you have to do that no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't think.
All relationships are compromised.
So I think that she was compromising with his.
She was compromising her spell check.
No, I think after. Well, yeah, that's kind of. I think if you don't know how to spell, I think there's a lot more.
there's a lot
There's
going
more
on.
issues.
Yeah, I think.
Did you know that kids in elementary school and middle school can't read and write? Like it's a
What do you mean?
pandemic.
There's an epidemic of kids who can't read and write.
You're surprised the TikTok generation doesn't know how to read or write.
The short bus production companies must be making bank in this generation.
Except they're just regular buses now.
Because they're all iPad kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally the issue.
Have you seen the bit of the guy who does the character? He's just like iPad kid at his grandma's funeral, and it's just
Man.
like a guy just very too old to be holding an iPad, and it's just like that is the kid as he gets older. Is just an iPad kid. Like that's how I vision it. Because it's like we had Game Boys, sure. And that was one thing.
Yeah,
and
you gotta read on those.
You can't read on those. You can't watch content. It was just like you played the game. Your battery died. That was it.
Yep.
Game over. It's over. With this, it's like you have the charger. You have different apps. Like there's never ending. Like how could you ever get bored as a kid?
I want my kids to be bored.
No, I want my kids to be
100%.
outside. I'm gonna not give them phones, and they're gonna be like, "My mom sucks," and I'm gonna be like, "Back in my day, I used to play Manhunt at the park." Like,
Yeah, for sure.
I did.
I would play Manhunt at the park, and if I heard a cowbell, we had like a bell that hung outside our house, and my park was like 3 streets away. If I heard that bell, I had to get home, or I was gonna get beat.
Why did it sound like you lived in like Tennessee?
What do you mean you had a bell?
She
Like, you had a bell?
My mom put a bell outside of her house, and when she rang it, because we didn't really have phones back then,
Dinner's ready. Dinner's ready.
she would sometimes.
Y'all
She
come
would
back
pull
now.
up.
You hear?
Your parents
If my
fed
mom,
you?
because my mom didn't want to leave, she was lazy.
Yeah.
So if my mom was in her car and she came to the park, it's all the kids in my grade and other grades. So there's like 60 kids at the park all playing. I had to be home when it was dark out, which means at 5 o'clock in the winter when it was dark, I had to be home, which is stupid. It was just a form of control with my mother, and she loved. Like I'd hear the bell and I would ignore it for like 20 minutes because I also felt embarrassed that I'd have to be the only one to go home when I'm like 13. And my mom would pull up in her minivan, and then you just hear, "Jamie fucking Lee, get in the goddamn fucking car right now."
Oh, you were a
And
middle
everyone's like,
you were a middle name yell.
Well, Jamie Lee's our first name.
Oh,
I don't have a middle name.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just called fuckface when they were mad at me.
All right, Em.
Fuckface Wade.
My mom would always threaten guys I was into, and she's like, "If you fuck over my daughter, I'll rip your head off and skull fuck you." And I'm
Wow,
like,
that sounds healthy.
That's aggressive, mom.
No, that's
But
good.
also loyalty.
She cares.
Skull fuck. That's definitely something you can't say to a 15-year-old kid.
No, she would. She didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, we were at a different time.
We were in a
I
different
miss
time.
that.
If a parent said that to a kid now, they'd be like arrested.
I feel like that would be a scene in like a Judd Apatow movie.
That was like in Bad Boys. Remember when the
Oh yeah,
that
when he went
kid
up to
came by?
when he goes up to Reggie, he goes,
Who we got here?
"Who we got here?" Oh
When he
my
had
god,
the
that
gun.
scene's great with
Yeah.
Will Smith acting drunk and then yelling at the kid that's going out with Martin Lawrence's daughter, who ends up marrying him and everything.
I wish we could yell at kids. I feel like we can't yell at
can't.
kids nowadays.
You
You can
can't
yell
do
at
it.
you can yell at kids. Maybe you can. I mean, in private.
Yeah, in private.
Private.
You can, and in different countries, you can definitely yell at kids.
You can beat kids in different countries.
Probably in different states too.
Did you guys get beat as kids?
No,
No.
I got spanked a little bit, but that was
No, I know
Now you
got
like it.
No, I don't like it. I actually hate when people do it.
Really?
Like, if people slap my ass, I'm like, don't fucking do that.
Oh.
Oh,
What do you
sorry.
mean, how frequent is this shit?
It happens on occasion.
Oh, like when women. Oh, okay.
No, not women, but like,
Have you
my
ever
buddy's
had your-
fucking with me and just like slap my
Have you
ass. I'm
had
like,
your
"Don't
ass smacked like going on stage? Someone was
like,
introducing me and like smacked my ass as I went on stage.
That's assault, brother.
Yeah, that's different for us and for.
Yeah, we get
Yeah,
it
I don't
in
do that
all
to my
ways.
other comic buddies, and I certainly am not going to start doing it to you. So that's definitely not okay.
Aw.
No, you
Damn
guys.
it.
Shut
You're
up.
like, oh no.
I like poke my ass out as I go on stage. Like,
You're like Betty Boop. You're like, oops, I'm
Did
going
I
on
do that?
stage. No.
How's it gone?
My boss just texted me to let me know that some guy wrote a review about us, and he was like, buddy, so that's great.
wait, the guy didn't like you?
No, he didn't like the food.
Oh, how's that your fault?
What the fuck? What the fuck is this guy doing?
We got to do a wrap up.
We'll do wrap up.
Gotta do a
All
wrap
right.
All right, we're wrapping up. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Do you have
for
any
having
last
us.
words?
up. No, thanks for having
No,
us.
thanks
It was
for
a good
having us.
time, yeah.
All right, where can everyone find you guys?
I mean, Natan Badalov.
Do you want to spell that for the people?
Oh yeah, NATANBAD. Where am I looking? BADALOV.
Give us a little more finger guns.
And you can follow me. It's Brad Stoll on Instagram and TikTok, and Brad Stoll on YouTube.
He makes out with Shrek a lot.
I do that on occasion. Don't talk about my man like that.
Sexy. All right, remember, if you want to be featured on next week's episode, leave a voicemail, and it will be played on the episode, guys.
And also make sure it's 7 minutes long.
No, we want 20 minutes long.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, try to keep them kind of quick, but it's 857-271-9663. And, subscribe, follow on all platforms. Leave us a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts. And I'm still looking for a husband. So if you're listening and you're a knowledgeable bachelor and all
I'm
that
looking
fun
for a
stuff.
sugar daddy. If you have any money, hit
Does
me
anyone
up.
want to pay my rent? All right, we'll see you next week. Hopefully my rent's paid.
Bye.
Bye.